Hi, this is Ray with Phone Arena and you're watching our iOS 7 review. We've waited patiently and now the time has come for Apple to reward us with a brand new iOS experience. iOS 7 is here, and while the latest version of Apple's mobile platform has been met with mixed feelings by critics, Apple has made it clear that this is the way it's going to be, no matter if you like it or not. And so here it is, the new, simpler and flatter lock screen, which is very similar to the old one actually. And of course, it will display upcoming appointments, missed calls and messages, as well as other app notifications. But you may have noticed that we now have these two small handles positioned at the bottom and the top of the screen, indicating that you can pull upwards and downwards respectively, in order to reveal something. So pulling upwards, you reveal the brand new control center. It is a much appreciated new feature, as it gives you quick access to frequently used toggles such as Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and screen rotation. Pulling downwards will reveal the updated notification center. And we have to say that the new one is not bad at all, as it tries to be a bit more human by displaying notifications like "Dinner with Ellie is next up on your calendar," or "Tomorrow, there is one event scheduled for 10 a.m. and your calendar looks clear in the afternoon." Overall though, the new notification center looks cool, but we can't really understand why the current weather conditions and the forecast have to be written in text, instead of being displayed in the old way, which was a self-explanatory graphic widget. So, with all of this out of the way, it's finally time to unlock that iPhone and enter the new home screen. The first few times you unlock an iPhone with iOS 7 will feel very cool, because there's a new unlock animation that's quite fancy. However, it is also a bit slow, so it can get a bit irritating after a while, especially if you're in a hurry. The new icons are, well, let's just say that they have a somewhat simpler, more colorful and maybe even childish look to them. Some love them, others hate them. Interestingly though, the clock icon is now animated and will show the correct time. Unfortunately, the weather app won't update, as it is just a static icon with a cloud and a sun drawn on it. It's very cool that icons can now be animated, but it's a pity that this new piece of functionality hasn't been used for other apps as well, besides the clock. Other than that, the iOS 7 home screen works in exactly the same way as your old home screen did. You have your icons positioned over multiple pages, you can create folders with icons that now have an almost unlimited capacity, and as before, all of the system and app settings are stored within the Settings app. You may also notice that the leftmost home screen page, which used to be dedicated to the universal spotlight search feature, is no longer present. Instead, you can access the universal search tool from any home screen page by swiping downwards. Naturally, the built-in applications have been redesigned in order to match the new look and feel of the system. In short, they're much more simplistic and have lost the skeuomorphic elements that made them resemble objects from real life. For example, the Notes app no longer looks like a pinboard. As a whole, we're okay with this simplification, but just as with the rest of the design elements, we can't necessarily say that they look better than before. They just have a different, lighter, cleaner and simpler style. Such is the case with the Phone and Contacts app. It has pretty much the same functionality as before, but just has a lighter theme. There is one notable new feature though, and that's the ability to block certain contacts. The same observations are true for the messages and email applications. Some apps have really benefited from the new design. One such example is the calendar. Although it doesn't really do anything new or different, the redesign has made it feel much more modernistic. The beloved Safari browser has made some good progress as well, as it now has a full screen option in portrait mode, a unified search bar, and a new tab view, which tends to be more convenient than the old one. The stock camera application has gotten a decent upgrade as well. Most notably, it allows you to choose from a set of 8 photo filters, and it also sports a new square photo mode. If you've been hoping for some more advanced options, such as ISO, sharpness, and so on, you're in for a disappointment because the camera app is just as simple as before. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because it's incredibly fast and easy to use. With iOS 7, Apple is also debuting the new feature called iTunes Radio, which allows you to listen to free music stations created by yourself. Of course, you can create those stations based on genre, so you can't really choose the exact songs you want to be listening to. iOS 7 also brings new multitasking system, which allows all apps to run in the background. You're accessing the multitasking UI in the good old way by double pressing the home key, and we have to say that the new multitasking view works quite well. The old iOS look has been around for 7 years now, and it has been everywhere. We've gotten so used to it that we're now finding it hard to embrace the new one. Still, we've asked for it, and after 7 amazing years, we were ready to see some substantial change in what has been the industry's benchmark OS, and Apple has delivered. The result will surely not appeal to everyone, but if we give it some time, we believe it will be quite easy to adjust to iOS 7. After all, it's still a great OS with tons of advanced functionality and the richest app ecosystem around. Probably our biggest complaint about iOS 7 is that it still lacks some sort of widget-like functionality. We're sure that such functionality is coming, but it will probably be at least another year before it can grace our iPhones and iPads, at best. At the end of the day, iOS 7 is a substantial update, which you should definitely get. If not for the fresh new design, then for the useful new features such as Control Center and iTunes Radio.